And we're back, guys. Tennis in a minute. I'm your host, Good Energy. I give you the rundown on tennis coverage every single day. Tennis is life. And again, I just want to thank you all for the love and support. And I really appreciate it. And like the video, show some love. And I say it all the time. Look, I don't do this for likes or views. This is a small tennis network. I enjoy being small and organic. I did have a larger tennis network before this. And I can tell you, when each video you do is getting 10 to 15,000 views, you get a lot of messages. Waking up with 5, 6, 700 messages a day, it's a headache. And I do enjoy being small and organic, putting out content, supporting the WTA. I think it's one of the most exciting sports we have right now. And I just think just watching males dominate sports for so long, it's time for something new. We want to see ladies perform and show their athletic ability, their God-given talents, the gifts that they work on. And, it made me sad the other day. A couple ATP players, former players, they were trashing the WTA, just saying the league is a joke and no one wants to watch them. It's not the days of Serena. We understand it's not the days of Serena, but I think because a lot of people aren't actually tuning into these matches, they don't know what they're missing. Someone like me that actually watches the majority of these matches, there's some good tennis being played, okay? We expect Carlos Alcaraz Novak to do these freak insane plays. But we don't expect Bogdan to play a freaking nearly 4-hour match, fatigued, tired, drained, get back up on the court to play a semifinal in literally less than 14, 15 hours and give another miraculous performance. These ladies are amazing, and I'm sick of you guys trashing the league. I'm really getting sick of it. Okay, because there's a lot of sincere fans that support the WTA like me. I spend my hard-earned money to go see these ladies play, and it's good entertainment. It's probably one of the best tickets you can buy. Now, we do need to work on the ticket prices, but nonetheless, I'm just sick of people trashing the league. It's really getting on my nerves. Me personally, Coco, Alicia Parks, Iga Swiatek, Coco Gauff, some of these matches, Sabalenka, Coco, some of these matches are better than the Super Bowl, hands down, in my opinion. But nonetheless, stay tuned for my Super Bowl prediction. And look, I brought up the question earlier, are sports rigged? Are sports rigged, right? Do sports have a predetermined outcome? Look, wrestling we know is, right? Guys used to swear up and down back in the day that wrestling was real. No, it's scripted. We know it is, right? Are sports rigged? Now listen, guys, whenever you're dealing with millions, hundreds of millions, billions of dollars, there is going to be corruption. There's going to be scandals. There's going to be people behind the scenes that sway the money flow. It's human nature, right? We know that. But what we have to understand is with a lot of these organizations, there's been huge scandals in the past that have exposed a lot of these situations. And at the end of the day, the objective is for the corporation, the organization to win, right? So the more eyes that tune in, eventually, it all leads back to the front office. But if you're wondering if sports are rigged, like, for example, the Super Bowls today, right? There's been so many scandals involving game fixing and things like that. Whether it's what's the guy's name with the NBA, McConaughey or whatever. I don't know what his name is. I can't pronounce it anyway. But yeah, he was an official referee and he gave you all the backdoor secrets. But there's been tons of scandals in the NFL, and if you haven't heard about those scandals when they happen, you're probably not going to hear about them now. I'm not going to tell you about them here, but there's so many, because a lot of these guys, after the story comes out, they end up, getting paid to shut up, and then they erase the story from the internet. You can't even find some of the scandals I know about when it comes to NFL on the internet. They don't exist anymore. And I'm not going to be the one to tell you. If you don't know, then look, you're just not going to know. So there's been tons of scandals, even Super Bowl scandals. So are sports rigged? The question is, or the answer is rather, it's impossible to rig every game. You need to have everyone on board, and it's too much. So is every game rigged? No, of course not. Are some rigged? Well, look, if it can benefit the organization, if it can help, initiate a particular event that could help the organization, then look, we're not going to put anything past anyone. We're all human beings at the end of the day, right? And a lot of people will do things to help the organization, including players, coaches, and front office officials. But for the overall rigging of every game, it's just not possible. It's not possible. Now, in terms of tennis, I'm not going to talk about tennis. I'll save that for another day. But let's get to this matchup here. We have Karolina Pliskova taking on Anna Bogdan. This is going to be a really good matchup here. Now, Anna Bogdan has never beat Pliskova. They've played a total of 3 times, and the last time being the closest, actually. Bogdan's only won 1 set off of Pliskova, and she did that last time out. Bogdan needs a round of applause for her performance here in this tournament. She's played amazing. That's right, guys. That matchup with Arantxa was simply marvelous. Both ladies were exhausted. They were drained. They had nothing left. And for Anna to get back up on short notice and literally do it again, another 3-set match with Jacqueline, amazing. Now, I said this in the past, if you followed the channel. I said when these tournaments have their locals in them, normally there's always a local that makes a championship. Is it funny? Is it odd? Look, rewind the video about 4 to 5 minutes, okay? Right? It helps get the local, look, a lot of times they get hot at the right time, right? And it helps the locals come and watch these matches, right? It helps the attendance, the ticket sales. Oh, you have a local playing the championship? Great. All the locals are going to come out and support the event, make the event success. A lot of times when you have players that aren't from the country or, non-locals, a lot of times the attendance overall is low to begin with. So when you have these non-locals in the championship matches, attendance really suffers. So when you have a local player in the championship match, it really, really helps. So congratulations. Look, it just happened. So Jacqueline and Anna Bogdan made the semifinal. Amazing. I did talk about the calls in this tournament earlier. I thought they were really, really strange, but nonetheless, guys, Anna Bogdan, she's 6-4 on the year, and she's here in the championship match after taking out big game AP in the first round straight sets, and Dreva big sister straight sets. Arantxa in 3, a match she was down a break. Literally, she saved literally a match point, 2 match points, something like that. Jacqueline Christian last time out in 3 sets, and watching Jacqueline on the verge of tears was just heartbreaking. That made me so freaking sad, I'm telling you guys, because it's like, when will she get another opportunity? And this is why you take a look at players like Alicia Parks, who made a championship her first year on tour and won it. You have players that are a lot older than her. They've been on tour forever, that have never even made a championship. They've never even made a final or semifinal or won one. Look at someone like Alexandra Sasnovich, who is struggling. She's never won a championship. She's never won a main tour title. Someone like Isla Tomljanovic, great player, never won a main tour championship. So it's tough, guys. It's tough to make it to finals and win championships. Take a look at someone like Anna Bogdan, who this is only her 8th semifinal. Unbelievable. Now, Pliskova finds herself here. Look, if there were ever just a easier path to the championship, Kras, Osorio, Irani, Dart, she hasn't dropped a set. It's been blowout fashion, and all signs point to her winning this championship. Now, I've said in the past, a lot of times when you have these championships where the locals are in the finals, they'll make the final. You'll have like an all-local semifinal, and you'll have a local make the final, but they won't win them. And this, I have a lot of data. Look, you guys know I watch a lot of matches. I have a lot of data. I have more data than the algorithm. I'm telling you, if you have questions, I can tell you some good stuff. But Pliskova here, guys, on the season, she's coming back into form. She's 5-3. She's had back-to-back 20-win seasons. That's unlike her. She's been injured. It's been the wrist injury. It's been the surgeries. But she's a young 31, right? I don't think, despite all the injuries, I don't think her body is really beat up. Anna Bogdan, on the other hand, she's a hard 31. She's a beautiful woman. I say it all the time. She's very beautiful. She could be a model. She's a ball and beauty, but she's banged up. She's been in a lot of wars. I mean, she's literally, Pliskova is going to hit 700 wins probably next year. Bogdan's going to hit 500 wins maybe next year. But Bogdan's had a tough career, guys, and she's battle tested. She showed you here her stamina, her mental toughness. And who's going to win this match? Now, this is how I think it's going to go. I think Pliskova's serve, she's serving pretty darn good. And she's really putting a lot of opponents on that back foot from the start, right? Today, she had, should we start with Bogdan or Pliskova? No, we'll start with Pliskova. So against Harriet Dart, she did have 7 double faults. That's a lot of double faults, but she had 2 aces. She won 70% of her first serve, 64% of her second serves. She had 9 chances to break Dart. Dart's going to be in ways similar to Bogdan. However, I don't want to compare Dart to Bogdan because Bogdan's got a lot more range. She's got a lot more variety. She's a lot more of a better two-way player. She's a better decision maker. And Dart, I feel her bread and butter is her backhand. I think the forehand's weak, while Bogdan, she's got a solid forehand and backhand. She's a lot more experienced. So I don't want to compare Dart to her, but in many ways, it's going to be a comparable match because I think she's going to be just overpowered by Pliskova in a lot of these exchanges. So I think Bogdan, for her to win this match, not only is she going to have to serve well, but she's going to have to show another, and she's been serving well. She's had 14 aces the last 2 matches and 0 double faults. So that's unlike her. She's serving amazingly well. You can see the improvements in her game. And this is the type of matchup here where she's going to have to get at least 6 to 10 aces in this match. She's going to have to win at least 75% of her first serves, at least 70% of her second serves. She had 13 chances to break Jacqueline. She's going to need at least 10 over Pliskova. But again, the problem is Pliskova's a lot better decision maker than Jacqueline, and she's got a lot better forehand. Jacqueline wants to get to the backhand, the forehand's shaky. She made a lot of mistakes and unforced errors on the forehand. Pliskova's not going to make those same mistakes. The only way Bogdan can beat Pliskova is to get her moving forward with short balls. She's going to have to mix in drop shots all the time. Any exchange or rally when it comes down to forehand and backhand, I think Pliskova's going to win those. She's just too strong. Bogdan's going to be on the back foot. She's going to be returning just errors and mistakes, and Pliskova's going to put them away, if not get the point outright. So without the short ball, I think Pliskova wins this probably in straight sets. But the pickers for Karolina Pliskova to win this match, I told you take Pliskova to win it a few matches ago. She's going to win the tournament. That's the pick. And tennis in a minute. Like the video, show some love. Stay tuned for the Super Bowl pick. We'll talk more about our sports rigged, and we're also going to talk about the matchup between the Kansas City Chiefs and the San Francisco Niners. Look, Joe Montana's making his rounds. If you're not familiar with him, he won 6 championships with the Niners, and he also played for the Chiefs. He gave his prediction on the match, who wins, who he thinks wins. To see him out promoting this Super Bowl tells a lot. Now, overall, there is a lot of money. About 80% of all wagers are on the Chiefs. And overall, some venues are reporting 65% of the money is on the Chiefs. But the reality here is this is a type of matchup here where, you know what? Stay tuned for the Super Bowl video. We'll be back. Tennis in a minute. Pliskova to win. That's the pick. We'll be right back.